Hey everybody, welcome to a movie review. I'm Scott AV. So for the next 13 weeks, I'm going to be doing Marvel Cinematic Universe movies from Iron Man all the way to Captain America Civil War, just because the channel wasn't around back in the day. And so if you want to check out our other MCU movies, we have from Doctor Strange all the way to Spider-Man Far From Home. So let's get this on. I'm going to be doing Iron Man. So Iron Man starring Robert Downey Jr., Gwyneth Paltrow, Terrence Howard, and Jeff Bridges. So basically, Robert Downey Jr. is playing the billionaire Tony Stark. He's in Afghanistan promoting a new weapon for the U.S. military called the Jericho weapon. And this weapon can spread out miles apart and can wipe out a whole army of enemies. So after he gives this presentation, he's going I guess he was traveling back to the airport, and he was attacked by the terrorist group, captured him, put him in a cave, and he had a couple of, I think, days or hours, I couldn't remember, that he had to build the Jericho weapon for the terrorist group. But obviously, Iron Man, Tony Stark, is smarter than that, and he builds his own suit, which is the Mark One, helped by another man in the cave, Jensen, I believe. Helped him build the Mark One, and as he was building the Mark One, the guards would once in a while check up on him. But at the end, he built the suit and he escaped. And boy, that escape scene was pretty awesome. So I was pretty happy with that escape scene. And as he was escaping, he blew up all the weapons that had his name on it. So basically, framing him for making the weapons and killing all the innocent people. He escapes, he lands in the desert, and his friend Rhodey, who's played by Terrence Howard at the time, finds him and brings him back to the United States. When Tony Stark gets back to the United States, his love interest, Gwyneth Paltrow, is playing Pepper Potts, greets him at the airport, and as soon as he gets in the car, they want to take him to the hospital, but of course, Tony Stark being Tony Stark, he wants an American cheeseburger, which that line would pay off at the end in Avengers Endgame. So if you haven't seen it, you'll know what I'm talking about. If you've seen it, or I should say, if you've seen it, you'll know what I'm talking about. So he calls a press conference and he says, as of right now, Stark Industries is no longer producing weapons of mass destruction. And obviously, his partner, Obadiah Stane, played by Jeff Bridges, he's like, whoa, we'll talk about this later. Just me and him are gonna talk. And boy, they were going back and forth saying, no, I saw what my weapons can do to innocent people, and I'm cutting it off. And Obadiah Stane really didn't like that idea, so they kind of were going back and forth. And as his Iron Man, Tony Stark, was in his basement building a proper suit. He builds the Mark II, which is just a pure silver, and he goes for a test ride. And boy, that must have been some fun ride, man, because flying up in the air, he would go all the way up to the atmosphere just to see how far he can push the suit. And obviously he created ice as he went up, as he went higher, and he obviously fixed that problem, which will later come in handy later on. So then he builds the Mark III, I believe, with the gold colors, the gold color and the hot red, and he goes back to the place where he basically was held captive. And boy, he just wipes out everything, wipes out everybody, boom, 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 wipes out all his weapons. It's pretty cool, pretty fantastic. And remember that scene, that song way back when called "Cool Guys Don't Look at Explosions," and he just blew up that tank and just walked away. That was pretty awesome. And also he had a fight with the military, the U.S. military, because he was on the belly of the airplane, or the Raptor, I think it's called Raptor. I don't even know what those planes are properly called, but he was stuck on the belly of them, and they were trying to get rid of him, and it was pretty awesome. Also, at the end, closer to the end, we realized that Obadiah Stane was the one who was the mastermind behind the whole thing. Basically, he set up Stark's death. And he wanted to kill him because he wanted Stark Industries for himself, and basically support the masses of the evil and give them the weapons that they want, right? But later on, Tony Stark realizes, after he gets like zapped by that ear thingy, I don't know, those things, whatever they're called, and that was a good character development moment. Not just when he escaped the cave and realizing, hey, what he was doing is actually hurting people, not helping people. That he was betrayed by one of his close friends, and he had to basically get back on it, go back to the Iron Man suit, and fight off Obadiah Stane. And as they were fighting each other, I felt the pain Tony Stark had, because he trusted Obadiah Stane with his life and to run the company while he was going to school and all that kind of stuff. And at the end, they had a great fight between the Ironmonger and the Iron Man suit. They're fighting in the city of California. California. They were in California at the time, so they were fighting down there. And yeah, at the end, Obadiah Stane dies, and that's pretty much it for Obadiah Stane. And then here comes the big twist at the end of Iron Man. No comic book movie has ever done that. What Jon Favreau, Marvel Studios is gonna do at the end. Stark has a conference saying, "Hey, you know what? We saw this Iron Man fighting in the streets, and we don't believe it was a bodyguard in armor." Stark just had his cue cards or whatever he was reading off, and he's like, "Here's the truth. I am Iron Man." Boom. The movie ended right there and then. He revealed his identity to the world, saying, "I am Iron Man." No other superhero ever has done that before. Spider-Man obviously always kept his identity, and other superhero, the X-Men, they kind of want to be kept secret. But Stark is just like, you know what? Nah, I am Iron Man. What are you gonna do to me? And obviously, him revealing that he is Iron Man is gonna have severe consequences later on in future movies. So yeah, overall, I really enjoyed this movie. All the actors did well. I was happy with Gwyneth Paltrow, Pepper Potts, Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man, Tony Stark. Paul Bettany, I forgot to mention that he was the voice of Jarvis, but he was never actually on set. But the chemistry worked. You can tell it worked between Stark and Jarvis. Also, Jeff Bridges as Obadiah Stane. Great choice for actor for the kind of character that you would want Stark to go against. And Terrence Howard as Rhodey. He was okay. I prefer Don Cheadle now, but he, for the style of film that was back in 2008, Terrence Howard fit the role fine. But yeah, overall, I enjoyed this movie. Great character development for Tony Stark, and this is the moment where we actually fell in love with Stark in the MCU. So overall, I enjoyed this movie. Great character development, great action, great costume design, great Easter eggs. There was a whole bunch of Easter eggs for the Ten Rings and future films. So yeah, overall, I'm repeating myself. I do like this film. I'm gonna give it a 9 out of 10, just because there's no perfect movie out there, I don't think. But I'm actually gonna come back and bite my words on that in future future reviews that I'm gonna do for the MCU. So overall, good movie. Enjoy it. I recommend you guys go watch it. I believe Iron Man, the first Iron Man, is on top of a lot of people's lists. So I wouldn't blame them. If Marvel hadn't made so much good movies in the future, this would have been probably number one or number two. But yeah, overall, I liked it. I'm repeating myself again and again and again and again. I love this movie. I give it a 9 out of 10. Alright, guys. See you soon. I'll see you sometime this weekend. And next Monday, I will be doing the Incredible Hulk movie review. So yeah, be good and see you soon.